Hello everyone, Alistair Gold here. I would say fresh back from Israel, but I certainly don't feel fresh. Got in at 4:30 this morning. I guess because there were just the two of us, you get that little bit longer, I guess, with players, and you get that little bit more of an insight. And also I think probably the players and even Conte feel that little bit more comfortable when they're just talking to two people. Whereas instead of having, what do we have in Korea? There was 4 of us and the legendary Sung Mo. So 5 of us gathered round. It's just a little bit different of a dynamic. So yeah, we got lots of good stuff. And what I found a difference between Korea and Israel was that in Korea, the fans were, it's not to say Israeli people weren't respectful, but it was more, they're quite reserved, I think, Korean fans, and they were very, very polite if they could ask for a question, whatever, selfie with players and things like that. Whereas the fan of Israel, they were just steaming on in there. We're just saying, we want to get this, can I have a selfie? And it doesn't matter what was happening. It was quite funny. And I think some of the Spurs staff, like even just behind the scenes staff, like communications staff, social media guys, were finding that because they had the badge, people were coming up and just asking them questions and stuff, even if they're in the middle of things, which was, it's just fascinating to see the cultural divide or cultural differences in different countries. Christian Romero came up as well. Christian Romero had another one of those games where there was some sublime tackles and also some lunges that were right on the borderline of being iffy. And that's where he plays his game. He really does. And there were a few moments. Was it Pellegrini? They both had each other by the throat. He's a fiery character, Romero. Off the pitch, he seems like quite a calm, cool and collected character, but on the pitch, yeah, he can suddenly become wild, and that can be in good ways. He can be protecting his teammates. We saw him and Richarlison protecting Son out in Korea, but yeah, there's moments where you just think, you don't really need to do that there. So I think it was Tom asked Conte this question about, I think that in every situation, it's important to have a hot heart and a cold mind. This is the most important thing if you want to be a winner. You have to be ready to fight in the right way, but you also have to pay great attention. At the same time, I like it when my team go to help another player to create that special unity. But every time, we also need to have a mind that's very, very cold. This is very, very important if you want to take another step. And that's kind of always been his philosophy with Romero. Romero, you'll notice, he thinks he's terrific and he thinks he can be absolutely world class. But if you ask him to praise him too much, he'll often swerve it. And I think it's just because that last bit he wants him to do, that control, that just being in check of his emotions. And I think once he does that, he will be absolutely class. Look, I think he's fantastic right now, but he is still, was he 23? Serie A Defender of the Year, of course, a year before he came to Spurs. And with Atalanta, but I just think you just got to worry about him. Like last season, he got up to 8 Premier League bookings. I think he had 12 in all, but he got 8 Premier League bookings. And there was one moment where Conte kind of quite publicly had to say no more because he's going to get if you get banned, if you get 2 more, you're going to get banned for 2 games. And he kind of said that quite publicly. And to be fair to Romero, I don't think he got a single yellow card after that. But obviously Romero, also in Conte's very first match against Vitesse Arnhem, got sent off, didn't he, in that kind of crazy game. So I think for Conte, it's just that last little bit. But I love that hot heart, cold mind analogy. It was the Conte equivalent of clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. I like that. I did like it. I like it a lot.